Hello, my beautiful lovelies. It's Lilah here with another weekly session of Love Bites with Lilah. I really hope you are enjoying them. These Love Bites with Lilah are a weekly series where I share a little bit about the soul or my understanding of it, my experience with it as a healer and a spiritual channel. So if you like what you see and hear, please just hit the notification, the subscription button, and just share with friends and whoever you feel might value or gain some value from what it is I have to share. If you would also like to engage with me in a different way, I offer one-on-one healing sessions, one-on-one spiritual reading and counseling sessions, and those details are all below. And then last but not least, I have a beautiful community that I call Community of the White Rose, which is held online in Patreon and also about to start next month with in-person events in Cape Town. So just have a look at those links and see what appeals to you. So this week, I was really at a bit of a loss. Well, not at a loss because I had too much to say. It was a bit of a juggle in deciding what it is that I felt I needed to share today. And this one in particular is really prompted by a session I had with a client yesterday. And it reminded me of how often I get asked that question, or how often people I see ask this question. And the question is, how do I get in touch with my soul? How do I know what my soul wants? How do I connect with it more? Good question, right? So the soul is so much more than we think, believe, know, read it is. The soul is that aspect of us that is multidimensional in nature, which means the soul itself can be in many dimensions at one time, whilst this physical body is present here on the earth. We're not always present mentally, right? Some of us kind of go off, me included sometimes. But yes, the physical body is here present in the third dimensional realm. Then we have a mental field that is also present but in another realm. There is the heart field that itself is in the universal infinite realms all at once. And then the soul itself, like I mentioned in my first chat, is that aspect that carries our memories, our consciousness. It is the container of our consciousness that travels through the infinite galaxy of cosmic time, although in the cosmic infinity there is no time, right? But that's a discussion for another day. But anyway, let's just say that the soul is the vehicle of our blueprint, of our vibrational truth, of our cosmic soul, which is really the very original breath of God that burst forth and created all of these beautiful energetic molecules. And so how do we get in touch with that? It's not as difficult as you may think. Because of the way we've kind of been molded, and because of the theory and the books and the texts, there is a sense that the soul is something so sacred that it can't possibly be connected with, and that the soul itself has this vast amount of wisdom that also is too far away from the human realm. And I want to tell you, absolutely no. The embodiment that we are currently going through, which is really the calling in of that multidimensional aspect, is happening more and more. In order for that multidimensional aspect to come in, the heart needs to be opened. So that is a process that many are going through now, awakening their heart center and crying for no reason. I have a good couple of videos on that. So the soul itself then, if we really want to look at a starting point of being able to connect in, there are a couple of things we need to take into account. The first and probably the most important is always self-awareness. Self-awareness, self-awareness, and more self-awareness. Because in this busy day and time where our minds are so busy, our bodies are so busy, we can become so distracted that we don't give ourselves enough time to really hear, see, or feel what is going on in our unseen aspect, or our soul for that matter. So the first step in any path towards reconnecting or feeling into your soul is to become more self-aware. And you'll probably find in becoming more self-aware that you do start to ask more questions. The best and probably quickest path To increase self-awareness is to begin to take responsibility for your thoughts, beliefs, actions, and to spend time in solitude, no music, no noise, no people, just connecting in with what is going on in your field. Because the soul exists at so many levels that yes, it is connected in via the beautiful golden cord into our physical body at our heart center. But then we can almost say that it kind of extends in a much broader, more infinite way above and beyond our physical body. And the process of embodiment is to essentially, a bit like a magnet, is to pull in, receive, connect into that higher vibration that can then move through and embed itself more deeply. And then also while that's happening, to really sort through these layers around us of the soul field, of the conscious energy, the field of consciousness, to see what heavier aspects there, to see if we have any entanglements, and just really to take a look. So in order to begin that path, whilst walking the self-awareness, whilst spending time in solitude, is to examine your truth and to examine and ask yourself the question, am I living according to that? Because one of the very first videos I made, and you'll see I was a bit shy in front of the camera, but the link is there. Have a look at that if you haven't watched it. The path to the soul, or pulling in the soul, is a path to speaking or acting from a place of truth. Because if we are placed in a position, and this isn't always possible, right? If we've grown up in a traumatic home, in a home where we couldn't speak our truth, and even now society really doesn't encourage it, and neither does unconscious parenting, right? Is that if we don't speak our truth, we create a very constricted, tight energy field, heart field, and in essence it squeezes or pushes out the soul energy, which is of a much higher vibration. And if we spend too much time, too many years of our lives not speaking our truth, not being able to be true to who we are, then you might well feel that you don't have a soul. Or in my case, at some point in my life, I said, I feel like my soul is dying. And the soul never dies, right? But our connection to it can become shriveled and tied up. And we can feel that our soul is too far away. So the truth spoken, the truth acted on, opens up the heart center, which acts as a kind of vehicle, as a funnel, into which once that heart field has expanded, in a way it magnetically attracts or brings in, allows your soul in, because the soul only knows truth. Because the soul works from a place of what is good for you, even if you don't think it is always carrying a field of original consciousness that follows divine law and harmony, that wants you to be in harmony with self, in harmony with others, and following your highest potential. So just like a tree that is given fertile ground, that is given access to sun, that tree's trunk grows big and strong. So the soul itself needs a field of truth in which to connect in and to begin to expand. And actually, as a way of natural progression, is that when you start speaking or acting on your truth, you actually offer healing to those heavier blocked aspects, tight, restricted aspects in your soul's field, in your light body, which is really my name for that soul field that is surrounding your physical body in order to become incarnated, is cleared out. Not all at once, but it can be if it's a truth bomb, right? If it's an explosion of truth and everything in your life changes, you can suddenly find yourself feeling much more alive than ever before. But it requires brave-heartedness and it requires courage. And this is why I say it's so important that if you're a parent, to really begin to offer your child the opportunity to speak his or her truth from a very, very early age. Don't think you know everything. And especially with these new sensitive children that are just They hear more, they see more, they actually know more, because a lot of them are coming in with huge, wide open hearts, which can make this life very traumatic and chaotic for them. And they can seem very volatile and full of emotions. All they're doing is picking up on everything around them and just expressing it. So look after that little vessel. If that little vessel says to you, Mom, I don't want to eat carrots tonight, just trust that. They're not going to get really sick if they don't eat their vegetables. It's the little truth. It's like when it's cold outside and you say, put a jacket on, Johnny. And Johnny says, Mom, I'm not cold. No, don't be silly. You must be cold. Put a jacket on. You are repressing the truth of that light vehicle, of that vessel, of that divine soul. And I know it almost sounds like irrelevant, but it's not. It's so important that the child growing up understands and is connected to their own truth, even if you don't feel it is appropriate or something that is actually true for you, because everyone's truth is slightly different, right? But if then you're in a relationship where you can't express yourself, you're probably going to feel like you're slowly dying, because the energy field gets tighter and tighter. And the energy field, as I've spoken to you before, is just I've lost the word. It's just a result, there we go, of the soul coming in and creating these fields of memories, right? So as the soul anchors into those energy centers, it creates this light body, which is really the energy field that holds your body in this physical incarnation. But there is so much more to the soul. So if you want to start connecting, understanding, speak your truth, and live according to your authentic feeling, anything that brings you joy, that makes you feel alive, that makes you feel like happy and gay, is going to bring in your soul, because those are the vibrations of the soul. So if you get joy from sitting outside in your garden and really just picking the flowers and making an arrangement, you are calling in your soul. If you feel so connected, open, and in the flow when you're hammering it out on your bicycle or up the mountain, you are calling in your soul. Which is why so many jobs that require you to shut down, not speak your truth, follow these rules, even though they make you feel uncomfortable, are soulless jobs. And all of us need to earn an income in this day and age, right? Well, most of us are working hard to bring in the money to support our families. So I'm not saying go out suddenly and change jobs. Oh, you might want to do that. But examine those truths and be truthful to yourself. And even if you can't make the change overnight, spend some time becoming more self-aware, getting yourself a journal if you don't have one, and writing those truths down. Because you might be in a soulless job, but you might be working way too hard at it. So if you said to yourself, well, actually, on a Friday, I'd really like to leave early so that I can go for that run, I can go for that walk in the park, then do that. Because even in doing that, you are allowing that aspect of you that is joyful, that is playful, to come in, and it will start bringing in that flow, that golden river of wisdom, meaning, and heart-centered authenticity that will take you to the places you need to go. Because once the soul starts coming in and the heart field is opening or opens immediately and randomly, it allows space for your truth to come in, for your wisdom to come in, and your soul is only going to guide you along the path of that which is good for you. So in this series of the soul, I'm trying to bring in elements that might be useful in your practical life. I also don't want to get all high-fluted and share with you something that doesn't make sense. But I'm also more than willing to talk about any of those topics that you want to talk about, because there is so much happening in that soul field. That soul field is the field of unseen wisdom, knowledge, and insights that is connected to everyone else on the planet in the great field of consciousness of humanity, and is connected to the wisdom of the cosmos and the wisdom of Mother Earth. So it really is that aspect that is connected to everything. And so on the one side, that can't really be named, can it? And I'd be very egotistical if I thought I could, or even begin to describe it. but I try with my channeled guidance to share some insights. But that soul is Creator, God, Source energy. That soul contains everything there is and nothing at all. The Aleph, all and nothing. The omnipresent breathing pulse of the universe that is there and surrounds us, but is also inside our own heart. So while I finish off this video, perhaps now I'm going to ask you to engage a bit. And so just sit here with me and close your eyes. Put your hand on your heart. And like Caroline Mace, I hope I pronounce it right, always says, or has referenced a couple of times, and I love that, is call on your soul with the simple words of, be with me. Breathe deeply. Make sure your inhalation and your exhalation is the same duration to begin to create a coherent field around you. And use the mantra, I call in my soul, be with me. And whatever comes up for you, let it come up for you. It is all okay. It is going to be all okay. And so this ends this week's Love Bytes with Lilah. I really do welcome your comments and any other insights or sharings you wish to share with me. Any questions you have, I'll try to answer them. I'm here for you. Please look at all my other social media. I'm very active on Instagram and Facebook, and of course my website if you haven't taken a look there already. So much love to you. A reminder about my community of the White Rose. The link is below. And I wish you the most blessed rest of week. I see you, beautiful souls. I see you. Bye for now.